world traveler Mike Fallon is in the room, heading over to Chernobyl. Mike is here with his panel of experts about higher education in our community. This program, by the way, is called Higher Education Happenings. So we do record this. Oh, gosh, let me push the button so we can see you guys. There you are. And today, I don't even know what we're talking about. Did I even get any notes? I've been so fascinated with your Chernobyl announcement. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fantastic. How are you?
When are you going to Chernobyl?
Next month. So 2 weeks away.
Can we have you in here, not for this kind of thing, but just to talk about that trip or all of your trips?
I know. We need to do it sometime.
I mean, Paris is interesting, but Chernobyl?
Chernobyl.
You'll have to sit in that little room over there when he
interviews.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Is there a swimming pool in Chernobyl?
Gonna find out.
Don't go in it. Just don't go in it. I saw a movie about that one time.
I know. It's fantastic.
So what are we talking about today?
We are talking about college readiness.
Okay.
Going into college, getting ready for college. And we have a great panel of guests today. And again, my name is Mike Fallon with Webster University.
I'm Crystal Flynn with the University of Central Florida, Ocala Regional Campus and Direct Connect.
Terry Littleberry, College of Central Florida.
All right. Small panel. Short. It's a small group of people
today. A smaller group today, but it'll be a good group. I think we'll have a nice conversation.
So college readiness, who do you talk to about that? And does it not matter how old they are? Could you talk to me about that?
Oh, absolutely.
We can talk to anybody about
it doesn't matter. You don't have to be 18 or 16 or...
No, I work with dual enrollment students. So does Terry at CF. Dual enrollment. So those are students who are in high school, and they're already starting to earn college credits. They're getting a jump on going further into their educational goals. So, and we also talk to people who are returning to college or who have never been to college and then later in life or at some point decide they want to go back and get an education. I've advised grandmothers, teenagers, moms, dads, working professionals who want a different degree, anybody and everybody.
And the opportunities, Rob and I are doing this little thing about the history of our area on something we're doing for children. But it's interesting how the educational opportunities in our community have not always been as good as they are now.
Absolutely.
Right?
That is correct.
Very true.
I think many colleges and universities are looking at ways to expand, and they're looking always for new enrollments and new students. And I know in Marion County, we've not had in the past the number of colleges that we now have here who are offering courses in our community, which is what makes our partnership, the College of Central Florida's partnership with UCF and with Mike, so important because we work together, we go out together, we talk to the community. We're not, although we're all looking for enrollments, we're not necessarily competing with each other. We're just trying to bring education to the masses.
I got that feeling that somebody was comparing it to restaurants. It's not like we have 5 hamburger joints. It's like we have 5 restaurants with a different specialty.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. So, by the way, the glasses look good, Crystal.
Well, thank you.
Are they new?
They are.
Or did I just not pay attention in the past?
No, they're new. Thank you.
They look good. You look good in those glasses.
I can see you now, so it's an improvement.
Oh, good on the other side, yeah.
Before I was just kind of squinting, but no, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so is the readiness, the college readiness, since the colleges are all different, everybody's offering different programs, does the readiness part of that differ?
It certainly can. It depends on where you're going and what your goal is. So if your option is, if what you're preferring to do is to start at the College of Central Florida, then there are certain factors, and Terry can speak to that. And if you are transferring from CF over to a university to finish a bachelor's degree, so you've done your 2-year degree and now you want to finish your 4-year, there's different components. And if you're coming to a university as a freshman, it's a little different. And then after you finish a bachelor's, you're going to graduate school. That's where Mike is the expert. Well, for both of us, that's requires a little bit different. So for every step, there is a group of people that can help you navigate that.
And tell me the part about graduate school. Is that a different set of readiness things you need to do too?
Well, yes, and it may not all be paperwork. It may be mentally ready and organized and ready to study and put the time and effort into it. And I think also that applies to some of your undergrad programs.
Sure.
It's preparation. So at a graduate level, you may need testing scores and you'll have to have an undergraduate degree from somewhere. However, the requirements to get in aren't quite as quite as crazy as you would with undergrad. If it's their first time filling out a FAFSA, which is your financial aid form, that might be a little tricky.
Yes.
You also, your SAT, ACT scores, or your other entrance scores that you administer at CF. And the same with transferring. UCF has a fantastic thing called Direct Connect. I think that's valid to talk about too, as far as preparing for the future. Because if you're in high school right now, and you want to go to UCF, but you need to stay in Ocala for a couple years and save a little money and subsidize your costs, that's something you need to think about when you start it. CF.
Thanks. That's a great plug. I appreciate that.
That's what I'm here for.
Steal my thunder. Yeah, Direct Connect is the partnership we have with the College of Central Florida. We have other college partners as well across the state, but that allows a student to complete a 2-year degree at the state college partner, and then they're guaranteed admission to UCF. So things like if when they were in high school, their SAT or ACT scores weren't outstanding, or high school just wasn't the best part of their life, but they survived and got through, then they go get a 2-year degree and they do well at the state college. If it's a Direct Connect partner, they can then transfer to us seamlessly. We have support staff. That's one of the major things that I do, help students with that transition to get to us. And we have combined, the three of us, our institutions have so many localized options. So if you're place bound, you are not limited to what you can do. If you have educational goals, they're still attainable. You don't necessarily need to relocate to that university town or quit your job to go back to school. Of course, those are great. If those opportunities are open to you, that's wonderful. Right. But if they're not, you should come speak with us. We all have different options and pathways that are going to get you to whatever that goal is, that can get you the better job you want, or the dream job and career that you want, or help you be more successful in the job you already have.
Sure. And the other part to that also is that even, for the parents out there that are listening in today, you don't even have to wait on the Direct Connect part for your students who are in high school. If they qualify for our dual enrollment program, they could enter CF as a dual enrollment student while they're still in high school taking courses. Complete that associate's degree either while still in high school or right after they graduate from high school, and be eligible for the Direct Connect program that we have with UCF.
You said if you were confined by place. What about by time? Can you work around somebody's schedule?
Absolutely. We have online programs. At CF, there are majors you can complete, or your associate's degree you can complete entirely online. And we also have a variety of UCF online majors. Currently, there's over 18 different options that you can complete a bachelor's degree entirely online. And the majority of those, some of those courses that you take in those majors may have some time constraints, but you'll have a schedule that you're provided with very far in advance, so you know that, okay, there's a test the end of this week and it's open Thursday from this time to Friday to that time, and you schedule that in. But it wouldn't require you to be in a classroom on a regular basis if at all. So if you're working, you've got family and other commitments, you still have options with all three of us on how you could make that work. Still get to the goal.
There's a young lady, Robin, and I know she's an activities director at one of the assisted living facilities in the community, and she hires us sometimes to play music at different things. Anyway, she said, you probably won't see me. She said, if I pass my test tomorrow, you won't see me next time. And we said, oh, well, hopefully you pass your test, but we're going to miss seeing you. And she explained that she's going to be going to more schooling if she passes the test, and I assume she did. She's a smart lady. But I also wondered if cutting back on her hours was such a good idea for her, because it sounded like she was going to be working part-time after that point. But what you're saying, maybe I should have her call you guys or something.
Well, it really depends on what she's doing. There are some professional schools and programs that require a full-time, 9 to 5-ish commitment. So in those cases, you would need to be on ground in a classroom, in a program, nursing and things like that, and a lot of the health-related programs.
I would assume that's what she's doing, yeah.
Those are not something at that level that you're going to complete online. You're going to have to be in a classroom for that.
We are up to the break. Let's take a break. The phone is ringing, but I didn't get Mike to give me the okay if we can take calls. So let me ask him during the break, and if he says yes, then we'll gladly take the calls. If he says no, I'm going to Chernobyl, and I don't want anybody to ask me about it.
You want to talk?
I'm just having fun with you. We'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Considerable cloudiness on this Thursday with a shower or two and even a thunderstorm. It'll become breezy in the afternoon with a high of 74 to 78. Partly cloudy Thursday night, low 58 inland, 64 along the coast. Times of clouds and sunshine Friday, high 78 to 82. Saturday, partly sunny, high 80 to 84. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
On top of the world, Ocala's premier active adult community has done it again, and this time it's bigger and better than ever before. 10 new, never-before-seen decorated models will make their debut on Saturday, February 25th at 10 a.m. 5 exciting new plans from our maintenance-free Premier Series, and 5 big new designs from our Estate Series in one convenient model center. Mark your calendars for the can't-miss model grand opening event. On Top of the World has all the lifestyle amenities you want right here. Enjoy over 300,000 square feet of air-conditioned recreational fun, plus over 181 acres of outdoor amenities. Join us on Saturday, February 25th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and tour our 10 new decorated models. On Top of the World is located on State Road 200 west of I-75 in Ocala, or visit online at ontopoftheworld.com. That's ontopoftheworld.com.
Equal housing opportunity.
Here is a 30-second news brief from the source WOCA. A man and a woman were arrested yesterday at a location on State Road 200 after climbing 250 feet into an unburied section of the Sable Trail natural gas pipeline and refusing to come out as an environmental protest. Illegal immigrants in Florida could face longer prison sentences than legal citizens for committing the same crimes. And NASA announced the discovery of 7 Earth-sized planets in the Aquarius constellation. And that is your 30-second news brief from the source.
This is Jan Marino from Palm Garden. So often when you advertise, it's hard to quantify whether your efforts are effective. But I have a success story. In my travels to medical offices, I ran across someone who recognized my voice from the radio and told me that they felt like they already knew me because of my association with WOCA. My message to you, they're out there, they're listening. Truly, radio gets results. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, WOCA, the source.
Want to go exploring with all the comforts of home? Discover the best of both worlds at the Ocala RV Show, March 2nd through 5th at Florida Horse Park. Thursday through Sunday, discover loads of RVs, great rates. Win 2 $100 gift cards every day, no purchase necessary. Adults $5, kids under 16 free. Thursday, buy one admission, get one free. Sunday, free admission with blood donation to Life South Community Blood Center. $2 off for military and first responders each day. It's the Ocala RV Show.
18 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Mike Fallon is here from Webster University, and his guests are Crystal and Terry. Crystal, you're from the college, the University of Central Florida, and you're from the College of Central Florida.
Correct.
Okay, I always get them mixed up.
I know. We try to confuse you.
And real quickly, Mike, I looked up something about Chernobyl. Oh, by the way, Mike told me we could have phone calls, so if you want to call in, 622-9622. We're talking about college readiness, not about Chernobyl.
That's right.
But can I just say something about Chernobyl? Okay, look what I read.
Uh-oh.
In a new study released last April, scientists have discovered the population of large mammals living in Chernobyl.
This is true.
On the Belarus side. Do you know about this?
I read that.
But listen to this. All right, just in one night with cameras. 21 bison, 32 boar, 9 badgers, 26 gray wolves, and the next one is the one I want you to hear. 60 raccoon dogs.
Raccoon dogs.
Raccoon dogs.
Exactly.
You should look that up. You should look
There should
that up.
not be anything called a raccoon dog.
I've never seen a raccoon dog.
It's not any relation to raccoons or dogs, though. You should look that up.
Maybe I should get some shots, too, before I go.
So next month when we come back for that show and Mike's not here, we'll know what happens.
Raccoon dogs.
He ran off.
That's a bad translation. There can't be such a thing.
You should look it up. Look it up.
I will look it up. Let me. So you said okay with phone calls?
Yes, please.
Sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
Good morning. Thank you for calling. Oh wait, I didn't push the button.
You'll have to tell us the question.
Good morning. You're on the air. Thank you for calling. Oh yeah, you'll need your headphones on. Hold on. Wait for the.
Thank you for taking my call. Say, does Webster College accept out-of-state college credits?
So we're actually Webster University. Webster College was a different institution, but we do take out-of-state college credits. As long as they're a regionally accredited school, we can transfer in up to 12 credit hours for one of our graduate degree programs.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's use that for the college readiness topic. I mean, is that something you find out first when you're talking to somebody? How many credits do you already have?
During the qualification stage, I typically will ask, and I think you all will too. Have you attended another college? What are your goals? And if they have attended another college and those credits are something that they could transfer, we'll take up to 12 credits at a graduate level. Then we'll absolutely transfer them over. However, some programs, it may not be worth them to transfer over because they may not be
ready.
Well, they may not be the type of grades they want to transfer over,
Okay.
and or they may transfer over into classes or electives that they might want to take something else at our school. But absolutely, if it'll save them a term or two, a 9-week term or two by transferring 2 to 3 classes or even 4 classes, we can do that.
Okay.
And I think I don't know if you want to touch.
So the College of Central Florida will also accept transfer credits from other regionally accredited institutions. We don't have the same 12 college credit limit that Mike is referring to. We look at the transcript in whole, and we will determine based on what's on the transcript what courses may transfer in for a student. So some students could save, like Mike indicated, up to 2 terms, maybe 3. We do have an institutional requirement that 25% of their degree, of the student's degree, be completed at College of Central Florida. So that's, if we had any type of limitation, that may be where the limitation is.
We have a similar option. You can certainly transfer to us if you've worked on your 2-year degree or worked towards that and have the equivalent, but you didn't finish perhaps at that state college. There are options for you to transfer to us and then finish and get to that bachelor's degree. If you've attended another university, perhaps straight out of high school, and you want to transfer to us, it depends on the school where you went. It depends on specifically what the courses are, how long ago you've taken them, but there is a possibility that a large number of those credit hours could transfer to us. We also have institutional requirements working towards a degree that a certain number of credit hours has to be from UCF in order to get our diploma, and then certain majors require that the core courses for that program be taken with UCF and not brought in from outside. And others are a little bit more flexible. So there are options.
Okay, so the readiness things that you look at are more about previous scores and previous education and not as much about money, I'm guessing, right?
Well, it depends on where you're coming in from, what the starting point is. If you're coming in from high school, then for admissions, you would come and speak with Terry and her team about how to get in, what you need to get in, high school completion or the equivalency and all of those things, and then testing where you are academically to find out what you're ready for the classes you're taking.
Oh, okay,
When you
okay.
transition to a university, it's a little bit different. We're pulling you from that college and looking at you academically now as a college student. So we're not concerned with your high school scores and those things. We're looking at you now as as having earned that associate's degree. If you come to us as a freshman, we're start from that beginning point. We're doing the same thing that CF is looking at. We're looking at you as a first-time student, qualifying for certain courses, your test scores from high school, all those kinds of things. So it depends on the starting point as to what you need to have prepared.
And that starting point, do you sometimes advise like, let's say somebody doesn't qualify, they're not college ready at this point. What do? Do you send them back to something? Hey, you need to fix. Is there a way to fix it if you're not ready? I guess is the way to.
The best way for a student to, if they're determined by a university that they're not ready for that particular institution, come back to CF. Come and see us at CF. CF doesn't have the same requirements in term that a university might have. So a university, based on the number of students applying there, may have a set standard for what they're looking for in terms of SAT or ACT test scores for entrance, as well as GPA and other requirements.
Right. It's competitive.
Right. CF has an open door policy, so we're going to bring you in as long as you have that standard high school diploma. We don't require the SAT or the ACT, so we have our own internal tests that we can do for a student to determine where they are in their English and math classes to get them off to a good start, to make sure that they're starting out at a level that's comfortable for them and then elevating them up to the college level if necessary.
We all want a student to be successful. As an for the education industry, if we're just getting students in the door, that doesn't help anyone. They're not going to complete, that affects funding, all of those things. So we want to support a student and figure out the best, most successful path for them. So if you're coming out of high school, you're the student, or you have a student who is coming out of high school and didn't do particularly well on the SATs, or had some trouble and just academically was kind of mediocre or challenged. The great partnership and opportunities that state colleges offer is that second step to redo it and then transfer and finish of course bachelor's programs at the state college now, because many have great opportunities there, but then they can also transfer over and get to that university that they weren't qualified in the beginning, but by taking advantage of that 2+2 partnership, then they can be, that door can open again for them.
I don't know if this is a sore subject or not, but when you hear, we're doing a radio show, you hear all kinds of stuff. So when you hear about somebody who's upset with a sports scholarship, and they say, well, they didn't qualify academically, but they're at the University of Florida, and it may not apply to the schools you represent. Is that kind of a backdoor way of getting into a university?
Not at our university, it's not.
Not
Unfortunately,
at yours, yeah.
there are some schools where there could be differing policies, but at our university, no. And we actually have one of the highest rates, academically speaking, for success of our student athletes, and those would also include students who came to us under scholarships. Their success rates academically are some of the highest in the nation.
Oh, okay.
So for
that's good
us,
to know.
that's not something that we take that very seriously. So it's wonderful if you're an athlete, but your academics need to be on par as well. So if they're not exactly where they need to be, again, you can boost them, get to where they need to be, bolster those skills in math and English and other areas, and then transition to the university of your choice. And there are athletic opportunities coming in as a transfer student as well.
Yeah, and there are athletic opportunities that are offered at community colleges or at state colleges, like CF. CF has ranked teams.
Basketball,
We have volleyball, men and women's basketball. We're actually hosting the state tournament for the college system March 8th through the 11th on our campus. We're going to be hosting that state tournament.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome.
Right. So we'll have, there are opportunities for students who are athletes that maybe aren't ready for the universities just quite yet to come in and still maybe compete athletically while they're boosting their
that's awesome. I like
academics.
Mike, I like the fact that you bring in people who represent the other schools, because you can see, especially today, how you all work together to help the individual students.
If it weren't for our partner schools, because we're a graduate school here, we wouldn't be here. These are
that's true.
I mean, I talk to students regularly that I, of course, want to encourage them to pursue when they're finished with us with a bachelor's degree. I, of course, encourage them to navigate and take a look at UCF options. But if they're telling me they're place-bound, they have other requirements that they need to stay here, I automatically send them over to Webster University to speak with Mike and his team, because that's a local opportunity to get a graduate degree. There are so many communities that's completely unheard of. You can't go to work every day and then go to grad school at night or online. That's unheard of for a smaller community like we are.
Yeah.
So to have these opportunities, it's really outstanding. It's one of the things I think that makes this community unique and pretty fabulous.
Access to education is huge. And
It is.
Even with all these great companies that are coming to Ocala, I'm sure they looked to see, where can their employees become developed? Where can they get continuing education? And when they see the number of schools we have here, including those represented, it's quite impressive.
And then the tailored programs, like your logistics programs and things that you're developing, all those new companies coming in, it's such a great match. You can get the skills to then get those new great jobs that are coming.
Wow.
Well, and as a community college, the thing is that we're in the state college system. We know we've changed over from the community college, but we are still connected to our community, and we still want to meet the workforce needs of our community. So we do take, at CF, we do take a look. We have the flexibility to take a look at what's needed in our community and then work to try and develop programs that will meet those needs.
Got about 40 seconds left. Terry, can you give us your phone number, or website?
Sure. Our website is www.cf.edu. You can reach our admissions office at 352-854-2600. 2322, extension 5800. And I'd just like to plug really quick that if you're interested in finding out more about CF and the programs that we offer, we do have our annual college preview program coming up on February 28th from 5:30 to 7:30. So we look to see you, the community of Ocala, we look to see you on our campus.
And we'll be there, so if they want to see us and learn
Okay.
more, they can come see us at the preview night.
Absolutely.
Real quickly, Crystal, a number?
UCF.edu, and it's the same number for the CF campus here in Ocala. Just dial extension 1824.
Mike, do you have one you want to give?
Webster.edu/Ocala, 352-861-9330.
Thank you. By the way, raccoon dogs on sale now at Sonic. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The president speaks tomorrow at the annual Conservative Political Action Conference just outside the Capitol. One of the headliners